One day away from game one of the NBA Finals, and we have an injury update. Luka Doncic, who's been dealing with a right knee sprain and ankle soreness for the entirety of the playoffs, says that even though the rest is much appreciated, he's been able to rest and recover, he doesn't quite feel any better, that the knee injury that he's dealing with doesn't seem to be getting any better. However, it also doesn't feel like it's getting any worse, and as we all know, Luka Doncic hasn't missed a single game in the playoffs. He said it himself, if this was a regular season, yeah, he'd take the time off to recover, but it's the playoffs and he's been powering through every single game. We've seen his knees get bloodied in the middle of games, so he's obviously powering through that pain. But there are some conflicting reports that we've seen saying that Luka is actually progressing, but we're going to get down to the bottom of that in this video, as well as we do have an update for Kristaps Porzingis ahead of game one of the NBA Finals. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And I appreciate you guys for just destroying the like button on the last few videos. Let's try to get this video to 500 likes. I'd appreciate it greatly. But like I said, game one of the NBA Finals is tomorrow. The team is looking even better over the last few rounds. It seems like the Mavericks just continue to improve and get healthier, as we saw Maxi Kleber come back from his injury, and the injury from Derrick Lively, which only sidelined him for a game. He came back in game 5 and they handled business. But Luka Doncic, we've seen the entirety of the playoffs. He's dealing with the right knee sprain, ankle soreness. I think he has some issue with his back as well. Luka's just banged up the entirety of the playoffs, just playing very aggressive, very physical basketball. While still being able to contribute on the defensive end. And in spite of these injuries, he's still playing all the games. He hasn't missed a single game in the playoffs, and he's still been able to put up great numbers. But the reports that I've seen that he's still not feeling that great, or the other reports saying that he's actually getting a little bit better, seems to be conflicting. We can all assume that yes, Luka will play. We doubt that Luka will miss any games, as he just had 7 days off, and even if he says he doesn't feel like he's getting better, the rest is much appreciated. But let's go down into the reports. Luka said this about his knee after a week of rest, saying it didn't get better. Yeah, right there. Luka says it didn't get better. I read the whole quote. He did say it didn't get any worse, which is a good sign. Again, the rest is very important for Luka Doncic as our number one guy, as our best player alongside Kyrie Irving. We're up against the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. We have to make sure our stars are ready to go, because I still believe that our stars beat their stars. And the bench, they're going to be doing their thing as well. I still believe that we're a much deeper team than the Boston Celtics, but it doesn't matter how deep you are if your stars can't perform, if they can't go out there and just put it all on the line. And Luka Doncic has been able to do that this entirety of the playoffs with these injuries. We've seen him go down, hit the deck pretty hard, but he gets right back up and just dominates the game. We've seen him deal with the bloody knee almost every single game, and yet he still helps the team and still finds ways to win. And contributing on defense and that's one thing that a lot of people have just been throwing out the window when it comes to Luka Doncic. You would think someone of his stature, being that great of a basketball player, if he's injured, he's probably gonna just take off on defense, not really play that hard on defense, and just exert all of his energy on the offensive end. And that's just not true, because we've seen Luka Doncic just dominate on the defensive end this entirety of the playoffs. And that's what I want to get into, because I've seen a lot of reports saying that even though Luka is dealing with these real life injuries, they are real, but his level of play, even though his averages aren't that high compared to his previous playoff runs, he's still able to contribute at a high level, and maybe he's actually getting better. In this report right here, Luka Doncic says he's had a good amount of rest to manage his knee sprain and ankle soreness. But I'll see. I'll check in game one if it's better or not. But it's been great to have some rest for sure. So yeah, that right there. Obviously, the injury is real, but he is, right there, he's admitting that he is feeling well. I'm pretty sure Luka's not trying to tell the world, yeah, there is no injury. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let them think you're injured. Let them think they got an edge. I see what you're doing, Luka. You smart man. But in all seriousness, he said it right there. The rest has been great. We'll see how I feel ahead of game one. But like we've seen this entirety of the playoffs, whether he feels good or not, he's going to be in there. He wants to be with the guys, and he wants to be able to fight. And I've seen people on Reddit, I've seen people in the comment section saying, oh, we should arrest Luka. He should take a game off. Really? You want your best player to miss a game in the playoffs? While we're making a run to the finals, and now that we're here, honestly, at this point, there's no need to rest anybody unless you're literally on one leg. Except for Luka. Luka's been on one leg this entire the playoffs, and he's still playing. This is not the time to rest anybody. Even if we're up 2-0, this is not the time to take the foot off the gas. This is the finals. We have a chance to win another championship. Luka's first, Kyrie's second. And it's very important that, yes, we get the guys rest. We don't overplay them. We don't have Coach Thibodeau as a coach. We got Jason Kidd. But This is where all our hard work pays off right here, right now in the NBA Finals. Luka Doncic, yes, he's dealing with that injury. Maybe it'll persist in the offseason, but we do have the Olympics coming up, and if anyone is worried about Luka's availability for the Olympics, this right here. Luka Doncic says he'll see how his knee feels before determining if he'll play for Slovenia in the pre-Olympic qualifier in Greece. And I want to say the pre-Olympic qualifier is 2 weeks after the NBA Finals ends. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I saw somewhere that 2 weeks after the finals conclude, that's when they're getting ready for the Olympics. I don't know if Luka's going to be able to celebrate the victory of winning an NBA Finals and getting enough rest to then play even more basketball as he goes to qualify for the Olympics. And it'll be great to see him play for Slovenia. I always enjoy watching Luka play in Euroball, play for the Olympics. Whenever Luka's playing in the summer, I still watch because it feels like you're watching a completely different brand of basketball, and it's still exciting to see Luka, who does all these crazy things in the regular season, in the postseason, in the NBA, to then go overseas and to continue just the craziness that is Luka Doncic. But health comes first. We'll see how he feels, and if he is good enough to play for the Olympics, you best believe we're going to cover Luka Doncic in the Olympics. But that's not all, because Luka Doncic, aside from just having a spectacular postseason, spectacular regular season, just being a spectacular player, we can look down at the numbers and really take a good look at how good Luka Doncic has been, even while dealing with injuries. This right here, Luka Doncic is shooting a godlike 65.2% from 17 feet to the three-point line. For context, Chris Middleton led the NBA in the regular season from this range at 58.8%. And get this, Luka ranks second in the playoffs in this category behind Kyrie Irving, who is shooting 66.7%. That's insane. Luka and Kyrie shooting over 60% from 17 feet to the three-point line, pretty much the deep mid-range. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, pressing buttons. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are getting it done. And that right there gives me a little bit of confidence. I was talking to a few people just the other day how I'm kind of worried, not because I think we're going to lose, because if I thought the Mavs were going to lose, okay, no anxiety, it is what it is. If I thought we were going to just destroy the Celtics, I'd be like, yeah, let's brag about it. Yeah, we're going to beat them. However, with this matchup against the Boston Celtics, it can go either way, but it does make me feel better, at least knowing that Luka and Kyrie are really efficient from the mid-range. I mean, Luka is known to just throw up crazy bombs from 30 plus feet, and the majority of them will miss, but a good amount will go in. But we know Luka Doncic can attack the basket. That mid-range is amazing. And maybe he'll do more of that in the playoffs against the Boston Celtics, depending on what the defense gives him. We know that Luka Doncic is the most blitzed player in the NBA. That's the only way people think that they can attack Luka on defense and stop him. Meanwhile, they're not thinking about the other four guys on the floor that are always open and always ready. Whenever Luka gets blitzed, he'll throw the ball out to Kyrie. Kyrie will make a play. Derrick Lively's there somewhere for a lob, and we make the defense pay every time. And that's just the truth of it all. And with Luka and Kyrie shooting like that from the floor, from the mid-range, that's another level, another weapon in our bag that we'll bring to the finals that I don't think the Boston Celtics are really expecting. And on top of being able just to shoot that well from just mid-range, let's take a look at this. These are the alley-oop dunks by teams in the playoffs this year. The Nuggets had 9 alley-oop dunks for the entire playoffs. They got eliminated in the second round. The Wolves had 6, and we just beat them in the third round. The Mavs are the number 1 team with alley-oops in the playoffs with 54 alley-oops. I think it's only appropriate that we only address the Dallas Mavericks as the new Lob City. I'm going to try to think of a better name. I don't want to be associated with the Clippers. I want our own thing, I don't know. I'll think of something, or if you got something clever, let me know down in the comment section, because the fact that we have 54 alley-oops, 54 lobs to our guys, I mean, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington caught a few, Derrick Lively's always catching lobs, and of course, Flight 55, Derrick Jones Jr. is always catching those high-rising lobs. And again, another weapon, another thing that we'll bring into the playoffs that I don't know if the Boston Celtics are ready for. I don't know if they're ready for 48 minutes of just lobs in the pick and roll every single time. And I don't know if they can defend it. But speaking of the Boston Celtics, we saw just a few days ago, Shams had tweeted out that Kristaps Porzingis is working his way back to coming to the NBA Finals for Game 1. And it was kind of reported, not sure how much truth there is behind this, but it was reported that he would be on a minutes restriction, which whether Kristaps is playing for, his normal minutes or restricted minutes, I'm not too worried. I think we have the right personnel. I think our defense is able to handle someone like Kristaps. You still got to respect him on the three-point line, even though I think our perimeter defense is very well. I also don't see Kristaps being able to attack the basket. But we do have an update on his injury, if you want to call it an update. But the Boston Celtics Twitter page tweeted this out today, saying that the injury report for tomorrow versus Dallas, there are no injuries to report. So Kristaps Porzingis, he's not day-to-day, he's not game-time decision, he's not questionable, he's not probable. Kristaps Porzingis will play. So at this moment, the Boston Celtics are at full strength. Everyone's going to play, and that's fine. If I'm going to beat the Boston Celtics in the finals, I want them to be at their absolute best because we've seen all the excuses that they've made for all the teams we beat. I don't want a single excuse when we get that Larry O'Brien, whether it's in Dallas, whether it's in Timbuktu or in Boston. I don't care. Mavs in 3. Why not? But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway this month. It'll probably be some Dallas merch. Make sure you drink water. Stay healthy. I love you guys. Peace.